Today we are in Old Sacramento, outside the California Railroad Museum. There are two special events going on today. We will have a chance to see the world's largest golden spike at 43 feet long, and also the opportunity to see the Great Wall Youth Orchestra perform live. They perform with traditional Chinese instruments. But first, let's enter the museum and see what's inside. As we enter the first exhibit hall, we are taken back to the beginning of the Transcontinental Railroad. The scene shows California building the railroad and linking itself to the rest of the U.S. over the once thought impossible Donner Pass in the Sierra Nevada mountains. Spanning a whopping 1,912 miles, the Transcontinental Railroad took over 6 years to complete, uniting the West and the East. This part in our nation's history is unparalleled, making commerce and travel not just easier, but truly allowing our nation to flourish and grow. From its beginning, many people's lives were dedicated to making it a reality. This 40-ton wood-burning steam locomotive was the pioneer engine of the Central Pacific Railroad. The Gov Stanford was built in 1862 in Philadelphia, then disassembled and shipped in crates from Boston to San Francisco, on board the sailing vessel Herald of the Morning. It arrived in Sacramento on October 6, 1863 by the river, and was unloaded the next day and reassembled at K and Front Streets. It began its long career in Sacramento on November 6, 1863, when the boiler was successfully fired for the first time. Chinese and Irish immigrants, Native Indians, and Americans all worked to make this dream a reality. It wasn't all pretty, and many men sacrificed everything in building for our nation. The next area we're entering is called Nation Building. Explore the trains, railcars, and exhibits showcasing how the railroad system helped mobilize and modernize a free society. The yellow Silver State Railway Coach number 3 to your right is a narrow gauge passenger car that was completed in December of 1881. It was constructed using the trucks and the underframe of a former passenger coach originally manufactured in Monterey, California in the 1870s. Not only did the locomotive engineers run the trains, but in many cases it was a family affair, with husbands and wives running the train outposts that dotted the Transcontinental Railroad path. Next, it's on to railroad work, railroad life, and human effort and enterprise that changed America. With the help of refrigerated rail cars, Regional farmers could now sell their crops all over America. By 1900, about 5 boxcars of produce shipped from California every hour. Next, it's on to passenger travel during the Golden Age. A rare opportunity to aboard a walk-through interpretive exhibit featuring the Canadian National Railway sleeping car and the classic 1930s Santa Fe dining car. The sleeping car is on a hydraulic system that gently rocks the car back and forth as if you were on a real train that is moving. This railroad sleeping car once offered the ultimate in long-distance travel comfort. This is a typical all-steel Pullman-type sleeping car of the heavyweight era, the period between 1907 and the mid-1930s. The Santa Fe dining car. For many, the phrase dinner in the diner conjures up images of fine china, sparkling crystal, freshly pressed linen, and delectable food served aboard the spotless dining car traversing the countryside. The chefs could serve up to 300 meals in a single day with just a tiny kitchen. Now we are headed up the stairs to a favorite of ours, miniatures and train dioramas. In partnership with the National Model Railroad Association, the magic of scale model railroading features a superb collection of model layouts and scale trains. The exhibit also features historic trains and model kits, illustrating the popularity and innovation of the hobby throughout the 20th century and into the 21st century with its exciting new technology. The National Model Railroad Association is the oldest and largest scale model railroad organization in the world since 1935. The exhibit is organized into an interpretive experience that inspires visitors to discover more about the history and significance of model railroading. Now it's time to head back downstairs and check out some more full-size trains, including the Southern Pacific cab-forward locomotive 4294. Some of you may think it is an early diesel from how the front end looks, but it is in fact a steam-powered locomotive. The configuration provided the best visibility for locomotive engineers on sharp curves, and the value of the cab forward as a design would also save engineers from being suffocated by smokestack fumes in the Southern Pacific's numerous long mountain tunnels and snow sheds. The first California cab head design, also known as the cab forward, is a National Historic Mechanical Engineering landmark. It was built in 1901 by William J. Thomas, master mechanic of the Northern Pacific Coast Railroad. Southern Pacific 4294, the last one of its kind in the world, occupies a special place of prominence on the main floor of the Museum of Railroad History. The Virginia and Truckee Railroad No. 13 Empire is a 260 steam locomotive built by the Baldwin Locomotive Works in 1873 for the Virginia and Truckee Railroad. This locomotive spent its long life as a freight engine. And here it is, the original 1869 Golden Spike, the last spike that was hammered into place to complete the Transcontinental Railroad on May 10, 1869 at Promontory Summit, Utah. It was hidden from the public view until 2005 when the California State Railroad Museum acquired it. So what really happened at the Golden Spike ceremony in 1869? Well, here you go. The Central Pacific Railroad built 690 miles of track. The Union Pacific Railroad built 1,086 miles of track. One last tie would need 4 final spikes to join the tracks to form one railroad. Nevada donated a silver spike, Arizona provided a silver and gold-plated iron spike, and California contributed 2 golden spikes. The final tie was made of polished wood and had 4 pre-drilled holes. Stanford and Durant tapped the spikes into place with a silver-plated hammer. At the conclusion of the ceremony, workers removed the ceremonial tie and spikes, and in its place they inserted a regular tie and spikes. The railroad was truly joined. The single word "done" was nevertheless flashed by telegraph around the country. In the United States, the event has come to be considered one of the first nationwide media events. A Utah State Park is planned to celebrate the Golden Spike Monument opening in Brigham City, Utah in 2025. It will feature the 43-foot tall statue depicting the Golden Spike that we will see later on in this video. It is now that time for the Great Wall Youth Orchestra to perform their live set, Unity Through Music. It's going to be held in the Roundhouse, so let's go check it out. The 43-foot tall gold-leafed spike hosts reliefs that depicts scenes of various people from different backgrounds who worked to build the railroad, people impacted by the railroad, and many others whose visions and support were instrumental in bringing the historic feat of human engineering to fruition. In 2021, the Golden Spike Foundation commissioned Dewey Bloomberg to create a public art piece. The Golden Spike Monument celebrates the power and diversity of those who labor and sacrifice contributed to the creation of the Transcontinental Railroad. The sculpture will be a permanent feature on display at Golden Spike State Monument in Brigham City, Utah. This 8-acre plot is where the original Transcontinental Railroad line ran. It will be installed in 2025 after it completes its cross-country tour. You can find more information at spike150.org. There, 21 years ago, I proposed, and we're still going strong.